Greetings, everyone. Warren, Mr. Bowtie Feasty here. Just wanted to come to you very briefly and actually talk about something that I'm noticing more and more as I listen to different podcasts, different shows, different talks about relationships. As you know, I'm your marriage foundation specialist. My focus is to build on the foundation of marriage. Traditional wedding vows said, till death do us part. And my goal, my aim is to enjoy those years, that we would not just survive those years, but to thrive those years. This is part of my Filling in the Cracks relationship series, where we are filling in those cracks on our foundation. Either we're building the foundation and solidifying the foundation at the beginning of the marriage, or those that have been in marriage as long as I have, we're filling in those cracks that have happened over years. Today's topic, oh my gosh, I am so ready for this. I'm going to take my glasses off. I am so ready for this topic that I've been looking at different things and seeing this question asked over and over and over again. And the question is, what do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? I've heard that different platforms, different avenues, different places, when people are on the first date and they look at the other person and they ask the question, what do you bring to the table? And I'm be honest, I've heard various answers. And to be honest, all of the answers that I've heard have disturbed me. So the question, let's just start with the question. What do you bring to the table? So the intent of the question is to say that we're going to unite. And I'm going to bring my assets, I'm going to bring my resources, I'm going to bring what I have to the table, and then you're going to bring what you have to the table. We're going to look at this table and see if what you're bringing to the table is equivalent, is equal, or greater than what I'm bringing to the table. That's how I understand the question. If I'm wrong, feel free to comment. Feel free to text me. Here's my number right here. Feel free to text me your thoughts. Hit me up on social media, whatever the case may be. But I feel like that's what we're saying, or that's what people are saying when they say, "What do you bring to the table?" They're looking at the relationship from a business aspects. I'm gonna be honest. There is some validity to that. Relationship and business are parallel. But let me point out something. Business is a form of relationship. You see the difference? So, you are you're looking at relationship in a lesser state than what it really is. So when we talk about what do you bring to the table, and I'm looking at your assets, I'm looking at your resources, I'm looking at what you have, and we're bringing this to the table. We're only, and here's the first part that I have with it. We're only looking at it from the angle of what you can do for me. That's the first problem I have with it. What can you do for me? That's the underlying theme that I hear from the question, what do you bring to the table? And so when you're looking at going into a relationship, already looking at what the other person can bring and what they are, and how can you enhance me, that's not a good start to a relationship. The popular phrase out there, let me adjust my tie because my tie started to slip. Got to tighten it up. The popular phrase out there is, marriage is 50-50. Matter of fact, there's a whole song by Teddy P. You know what I'm saying? Teddy P. He said it's not 60-40, it's not 70-30, but it's what he said, 50-50 love. As much as I like that song, Teddy P, you are so wrong. It's not 50-50. And I talk about this in my book, Marriage is Work, You Get Out What You Put In. But it's not 50-50. Marriage is 100-100. You have to be all in. And one of the things I say in the book is, what about the 50% that you are withholding from your spouse? So marriage is 100-100. So when we talk about what do you bring to the table, and we're looking at it from a business aspect, then we are taking a step down from relationship. Because, like I said, relationships, a business is a form of relationship. Another problem I have with the statement or with the phrase, what do you bring to the table? It's something I'm very passionate about when we talk about marriage and relationships. Marriage and relationship is all about growth, growing together. It's all about coming together and then later on being somewhere where you're not. For a marriage to survive, let me rephrase that. For a marriage to thrive, then we grow together emotionally, physically, spiritually. All of that we grow together. Financially, we grow together. So if I'm already bringing everything to the table, where's the growth? Where's the area for the growth? Is growth even possible? Are we even looking at growth? Let me tell you, when my wife and I first got together, and I tell my children the story all the time. When we first got together, we had furniture from that we were given, and a lot of the furniture, it was that put together furniture, that furniture that they was finna get ready to throw out, and we was coming together, and we didn't have too much, so we put the furniture together and we made a house out of it. And from there, slowly but surely, we got rid of this piece and replaced it with this, something better. We got rid of this piece and replaced it with something better. We got rid of this. And so now when we look around the house and we see the furniture that we have now in the house, oftentimes I think about where we started. And I'm going to be honest, I am so appreciative for the growth that we have together. And I'm going to say something about divorce in this, because one of the things about divorce is we are dividing everything in half. What's yours is yours, what's mine, and who gets this and who gets that, and what do we do about this? And the problem is the growth. The problem is the pot that, and I'm using this as an example actually, the pot that is part of a set, but one spouse uses the pot more than the other, but the other spouse don't want to break up the set because we grew together. It's about the plant that one person, when they started in the relationship, wasn't into plants, but yet over time the other person grew into plants. And now what do we do about this? It's the growth that is more painful and more hurtful in divorce than the possessions. So when we say, what do we bring to the table? And we're only looking at the assets and the resources, we're missing the potential growth that is there. I'm going to be honest. What happens if you meet the perfect person and they have nothing to bring to the table? Tamara Mann had a song. I say had, but the song is actually still out. But the song that came out about 17 years ago, and it was Take Me to the King. I don't have much to bring. And when you think about that song, Tamara Mann is saying, take me somewhere that I must provide a gift, but I don't even have a gift. So if you understand the history behind that song, she's not even supposed to be able to get presented before the king. She had nothing to present. And based on custom, she was not supposed to even see the king. But she needed to go see the king. What we really need to be focused on, instead of what do we bring to the table, or if we're looking at what we bring to the table, maybe we should be looking at the person. That's another story later on down the line. I'm getting a little excited and ahead of myself. But anyway, that's what we need to be looking at. Are you bringing you to the table? I don't care about your money. I don't care about your finances. I don't care about your job. I don't care about your career. I don't care about your benefits. I don't care about any of that. Are you coming to the table? Again, that's not where I want to be right now. Let me calm down and get back. So that growth aspect, we're missing that growth aspect. Another thing about this phrase, what do you bring to the table? How do we start a relationship? How we start a relationship is part of the foundation that we build. So if I'm already coming into the relationship thinking about what I bring to the table, then for the remainder of the relationship, that's going to be constantly on my mind. It's going to be a pillar in the relationship. And I don't know about you, but when I got married, I did the traditional wedding vows, and nothing against anybody that did their own, but I just want to point out there are some parts in the traditional wedding vow that go against this question, what do I bring to the table? It says for sickness and in health, for richer, for poor, for better, for worse, till death do us part. So if I say I'm bringing this to the table, but yet I get sick and I can't bring that to the table anymore, does that end the relationship? Because it will affect the relationship. It may not end it, but it will affect the relationship. So I'm gonna be honest. I can go on a whole lot longer, and I didn't want to be on here too long, but I just want to address a few things that I have with that question. What do you bring to the table when we're coming into a relationship? And granted, the question should be asked. I'm gonna be honest. It should be asked. We should want to know. We should be looking to see what is being brought to the table. But should it be asked on the first date? Should it be asked on the second date? Should it be asked on the third date? Should it be reworded? Very valid question. Very good question. But take the time to get to know the person. I didn't even talk about if the person is lying. How many relationships out there built on a lie that was found out later on? The first date should not be an interview. It should not be formal. The first date really should be, hey, I'm Warren, Mr. Bowtie Feasting. May I get to know you? What's your favorite color? What type of music do you like? It really is more of looking at that inner connection than that outer connection. Now I got a whole nother series that I'm gonna put together on dating, which probably gonna shock a lot of people, but there's so much more that should be looked at in this first date. Why ask a person what they bring to the table when there are things that are already being presented that you don't want to be with this person anyway? There are some psychological things that need to be connected between the two. There are some physical things, and I'm not talking about sex, that need to be connected between the two. There's some social things that need to be connected between the two of you long before we start establishing these boundaries in relationships. And I know, and comment, promise, please comment. I definitely will reply. I know people have been hurt. I know we got books out there telling you do all this stuff. And I know that people got these barriers up. And I know I need to protect myself. And I know I'm bringing assets that I want to protect and I don't want to go away. I got all of that. I got all of that. And all of that is a factor. But my goal as a marriage foundation specialist is to solidify that foundation so that you'll be able to stand and whew, stand and sustain throughout marriage. And so there are some things that need to be focused on that we're overlooking. And what we bring to the table is not a question I think should be asked on the first date. Everyone has their opinion, and I want you to tell me what yours is. Again, feel free to text me at my number and we can discuss it. You can put a comment down below. We'll discuss it. You can hit me in my messenger, my DM, hit me in the back channels, however they say it nowadays. And we could talk about it. And go to my website, contact me through there. But when we talk about what we bring to the table, I'm looking at it from a totally different asset. Because had my wife asked me that question when we first got married, we probably would not have gotten married and wouldn't be here 26 years later. Because what I had to bring to the table was not worthy of starting a relationship. It was the things that I didn't know that I had that put us together and that has kept us together. And we have grown together. And I love my wife. All right, well, Mr. Bowtie Feaster, your marriage foundation specialist. Thank you for listening in. Feel free to like, comment, share anything on this. Definitely want to hear your perspective, your thoughts. Definitely want to thank my sponsor for all his contributions that he has done to ensure that I get out here and build stronger marriages and strong communities. I always like to end with my 3 points of interest. One, the center of everything is family. Two, be the best you that you can be. And three, it's called life. Live it. Have a great day.